So, this video goes out to D.L. Hughley. This video goes out to Steve Harvey. This video goes out to Ricky Smiley. This video goes out to every dumb Negro, every traitor, every piece of shit. And I would have to apologize to this lesbian black woman who many years ago, when she called out Steve Harvey as being a loser and a traitor, and I wasn't there. I didn't understand where she was going with this, but it took me years later to finally realize that Steve Harvey indeed is a piece of shit. You know, Steve Harvey is, I believe, one of these boule people who are paid in some way, shape, or form to support this chameleon, to support this liar, to support this person who is even worse than her boss. Can you imagine? We've seen, now that she's been on the campaign trail, she cannot be focused. She cannot answer direct questions. Even her own supporters are getting like frustrated with her. Oprah was standing there looking at her like, Kamala, could you focus? Is there something wrong with you? Why can't you answer direct questions? But this interview 5 years ago, this was the end for Kamala Harris. This was the end. There should be no black person in America talking about, I'm supporting Harris based off of this.
Listen, again, we had over 200 years of slavery. We had Jim Crow for almost a century. We had legalized discrimination, segregation, and now we have segregation and discrimination that is not legal but still exists and is a barrier to progress. We have disparities around housing. We have disparities around education.
She is not a foundational black American. She is the top head. What am I trying to say here? She is the top. Oh Lord, I'm having a brain fart. She is the top tether, the top tether in America. All the tethers look up to her because it's successful. You are arguing with these idiots in all these comment sections. Let's go.
We have disparities around income. And we have to recognize that everybody did not start out on an equal footing in this country. And in particular, black people have not. And so we have got to recognize.
I hate to keep stopping, but everybody did not start out on an equal footing. Do you know how much land? Look it up. I have a book that talks about it. You know how much land, how many acres white Americans have stolen from black people through eminent domain, killing our people? Yes. A lot of our people were killed and their land was taken. And let's see what she says about it. Because, you know, all they offer is more studies. We're going to study this. We're going to study it. You're going to study it forever, and they're never going to do anything about it. Let's go.
Recognize that and do something about that and give folks a lift up. That's why, for example, I'm proposing the Lift Act. Give people who are making $100,000 or less as a family a tax credit, which will benefit and uplift 60% of black families who are in poverty.
So by default, it affects black families, but there's not a particular policy for African Americans that you would explore.
But no, if you look at the reality of who will benefit from certain policies, when you take into account that they're not starting at the same place and they're not starting on equal footing, it will directly benefit black children, black families, black homeowners, because the disparities are so significant. So if we focus on the specific issues that have resulted in the greatest disparities, and we understand that that's part of why we're doing it. Listen, the reality also is this. Any policy that will benefit black people will benefit all of society. Let's be clear about that.
So if you are a black American, she's offering you a tax credit, a fucking tax credit. Meanwhile, in California, Gavin Newsom is giving these people homes. And you have these migrants. He's given these migrants homes. And you, as a black American, you've been here for 400 years or longer than that. You've been here for a long damn time. We have served in every war that this country has ever had. We have been generals, joint chiefs of staff. We've been enlisted men and women. We've served in all of the branches of the armed forces, and we still do. And she's offering you a tax credit. But migrants are getting homes, $1,000 a week, and $15,000 a month in food stamps. But she's offering us tax credit. And you, stupid, I'm gonna control my words. You people are saying that we need to vote for this. She's basically telling you we are voting for all lives matter. Everybody else is what did Pink Book Lesson say? What did Phil the Advice Show say? That the AAPI community under the Biden administration, they gave them $26 billion. They got cash. She's offering us a tax credit and all lives matter. Fuck you, Steve Harvey. No, I don't. I fuck you. That's gay. To hell with you, Steve Harvey. To hell with you, D.L. Hewley. To hell with you, Ricky Smiley, and all of you shines and all of you clowns that are shilling for this tether.
Let's really be clear about that. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No, because whatever benefits that black family will benefit that community and society as a whole and the country. Right?
She's not going to do anything specifically for black people. So why are you black people voting for her? Why is Michael Eric Dyson going so hard over the mispronunciation of her name? I'm sick and tired of looking at you clowns. Closing out, I was so happy. I was so happy that Roland Martin got confronted physically by that one guy, and he showed how much of a fucking coward he was. And you're going to see a whole lot more of this. You're going to see a whole lot. All these people that keep telling you to vote for Kamala, you're going to start seeing more and more people pull up on them and say, "We're tired of you clowns. Enough is enough. Enough is you better have security." I'm not calling for violence. I'm saying you're going to be called out. If I was anywhere with Steve Harvey, I would yell at him and I would call him a coon, a bitch, and a fraud. This is what I would call all of them to their face. I am not advocating violence, but I would get up in your face. I will get up in your face and call you a traitor, a bitch, and a fraud. Steve Harvey is a bitch. He's a traitor and he's a fraud. All of these guys are. All of these women are. You are all disgusting people. Oh, Divine Nine, stepping. You are clowns. Michael Eric Dyson is a fucking clown. He's a clown. He's like all of these people. All they want is interracial sexual access. They do not want the liberation and the upward movement of our people. They are the buffer class in Black America. These people are pieces of shit.